A little better here. There we go.
Oh, it looks like we're having technical difficulties. It looks like Leanne may have popped off, so we will just give her one more minute to get back into the class.
A little better here. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay, she's back. It looks like we're having technical difficulties. It looks like Leanne may have popped off, so we will just give her one.
Hey,
Okay.
sorry guys, I pushed the wrong button and I left the meeting. So
That's okay.
I'm back.
Okay, we're ready to start.
We are officially ready to start. Oh, good golly. All right. I know, wake up those feet. Okay, I'm not going to close this door all the way, just a little bit. We need that air swooping through. If it gets really loud out there, you have my permission to shut that door. Okay. All right. So scoot to the front of your seat and get your ankles underneath your knees. And we're just going to gently rock a little bit on the sit bones, on the rockers, the sit bones at the base of your seat here. Just rock forward and back. See how your low back feels when you do this. See how the spine responds when you're moving back and forth. And what we're gonna try to go for is neutral spine. So you're gonna rock forward and feel your spine rise. Feel your heart lift, raise your gaze, and draw the back of your head. Draw your head slightly back. So if you had a ruler, like a yardstick, and you placed it on the back of your skull, it would flow down between your shoulder blades, right? Because usually our head is always forward. So I'm going to draw that head back. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down, and let your elbows hang beneath your shoulders. Because wherever your elbows are, your shoulder blades follow. So if you move your elbows forward, your shoulder blades are going to round forward, and that's going to take the spine with you. That's our favorite pose, right? So you want to be nice and tall here. And your gaze is either soft and far in front of you, kind of a nice light peripheral gaze, or you can close your eyes as we begin. Just feeling your feet firm on the floor. Feeling your seat. And noticing the breath. You are stepping into the breath that is already here with your awareness. You're just going to notice that soft breath, or maybe it feels rushed or tight. So bring a soft awareness to it. No forcing, no striving for anything in particular right now. Just noticing what it's like to bring in a gentle inhale, gentle expansion, and slowly letting go of the out breath, maybe tension being released without that out breath. Slow breath that feels just right for you. Your awareness is going to go to the outer environment. You're going to notice the sounds in the room you're in, the light. Maybe someone's in the room with you. Notice the temperature. Notice the clothes touching your skin. And again, notice your feet on the floor and your seat on the chair. This is how we ground, how we just find our way into this moment, calming the mind by using the senses and noticing your breath. So when the mind begins to wander away, doing your lists and your planning or your remembering, you just come back to your senses of sight and sound and touch and your breath. Gentle breath. Let's just move the head a little bit. Start drawing circles at the tip of your nose in front of your face. Nice, gentle circles in one direction. And you can start spiraling outward, making them a little bigger, but you're not being dramatic with the circles. The head is kind of gliding and floating here. Loosen your jaw and soften your eyes, soften your awareness. And just notice how the neck and the shoulders are feeling. Maybe you hear things in the neck like I certainly do. You let these circles get as big as they feel comfortable, but not inviting extra tension in. And then when you get to be at 12 o'clock with the nose in front of your face, go in the opposite direction with these slow, gentle circles. They're starting out bigger. And then you slowly start to spiral inward, making them a little smaller as you go. Holding the head gently. Circles getting tinier and tinier until the head is floating on top of the spine. Draw the back of the head slightly back. Raise the chin. Let's move the shoulders a little bit. So you're going to inhale, gently move the shoulders forward and up. Exhale, move them gently back and down. So you can make your circles bigger, but start small. And then you kind of meet the body right where it is, right where that range of motion is feeling comfortable and not creating more tension or a problem in your shoulders. Noticing the back and the neck, depending on what you've been doing all day today. And then let's go in the opposite direction. You inhale the shoulders back and up and exhale them forward and down. Going soft at first, maybe increasing the circles and the energy, but just enough, but not too much. Good. Nice, and let your hands drift next to the body, kind of fingertips relaxing on the floor. Shake out the fingers a little bit. Yeah. Root into the feet. Feel that spine getting nice and tall. You're going to inhale the arms out and up. You could raise the gaze a little bit. Exhale, do a little gentle rotation to the right. I'm going to be your mirror and float the arms down, but keep the gaze up. Okay, looking out over the horizon, then inhale back to center, and then exhale to the other side. You don't have to raise the arms very high, just what feels comfortable for you. moving with your twist. So we're just rotating that rib cage just a little bit, keeping our feet somewhat planted on the floor. All right. Raising those arms up and rotating and bringing them back down. So you're going to rotate one more to the right, one more time to the right, and one more time rotating to the left. And then we'll all meet when the hands come together above your head and you bring the hands down into your heart facing forward. I'm pausing right here. So now we're tuning into our energy capacity for your practice today. It's hot. So notice your energy capacity right now and kind of set the intention to not move past that. You might feel an invitation to move more, but you're not going to force yourself to move too deeply. Okay. So we're going to work on hips a little bit today. So I'm going to start out with some marching. Now, there's a note on this. If at any time you start to feel like it's a lot of strain to be raising the feet in front of you with your seat at the edge, you could slide back and rest the back of your body on these very comfortable chairs we have. It's so comfortable. But the point is, when we raise our legs, we don't want to round the spine. So you see how my tailbone starts to tuck and I round my spine. I want to keep my heart open. So if I can lean back and have some support, you can do that. So you can slide your seat back at any time and lean back in your chair. Just to see how this feels. We're going to start out slow. You're going to hold on to your chair, onto the seat of the chair, and your feet are hip distance apart. And we're going to start just by raising just the heels. So let's do it with the breath. Inhale, lift the left heel up. Exhale, sit it down. I'm conducting. Inhale, lift the right heel up, and exhale, set it down. So we're getting into those calf muscles, if you can feel that right now. So just seeing how this feels. And when we do this, we're paying attention to one side of the body at a time. Super good for the brain, right? And we're trying to keep the spine nice and tall. So you're going to feel your core engaged. The more you move your legs, the more the core is going to get engaged. Now, you can keep going with just raising the heels or go back to this at any time. Or you can lift the whole leg. Inhale, lift the right, this is your left thigh up. Exhale, set it back down. Inhale, lift up. Doesn't matter how high. Exhale, set it down. So we don't want to be overdoing it, right? You're just gently moving slowly. So here's the idea. If you start marching really fast, the momentum kind of takes over. And we end up losing our spine and the work your core is doing right now. And of course, can you feel those thighs working right now? We have thighs and they are working. Good. Nice. And remember, you can always slide back and rest on the back of the chair. You can take a break at any time and go back to lifting the heels and keeping the toes on the floor. Our legs are heavy, so this is weightlifting, right? We're exercising our hip flexors right now. Good. Nicely done. One more time with the left, and then one more time with the right, and set them back down. Just breathe. Good. Yes, that's exactly where we're going. That's exactly. Yeah, that I always want to do this first because it makes people want to move their legs outward. So you're going to bring your feet together, kind of closer together. Scoot forward in your chair. Hold on to the back of the chair, your seat of your chair, because I don't want you tipping forward. And you're going to let the thighs move outward, and you're rolling onto the outer edge, pinky toe side of your foot. And then we're going to do this. Keep breathing comfortably. So we're just kind of moving like a butterfly here. So inner and outer rotation of those thighs, keeping that spine really tall. So you're going to raise your heart, raise your gaze, draw the head back, Because once we're done focusing and the body knows what it's doing, you can straighten up your posture. Good. Nice. Good. Go ahead and let them rotate out. You might have to be up on your toes a little bit. That might help. You might even need to bring your toes closer to your body. Okay. And the outward. This is that cobbler's pose. We're not going to lean forward because I don't want our chair to go anywhere. But here's our cobbler's pose or butterfly pose. So keep the spine nice and tall as the thighs rotate outward, and kind of let gravity have your thighs, as long as it's reasonable for the low back. What this is really doing is taking that joint between the back of your hip bowl and your sacrum, and we're compressing it on each side of your sacrum when we outwardly rotate. See how this feels with the body. Okay. Now bring the knees back together, get the feet on the floor, and make your feet be wider than hip distance apart. And you're getting those ankles right underneath your knees here. Hold on to the chair. It's going to depend on the edge of your chair and how it feels on the back of your thighs. We'll do windshield wiper knees. So floating the thighs to one side and then the other. Not too much, don't overdo. Make sure you feel comfortable. So feel the inside and the outside of your feet. So you're rolling on the feet too. So as the feet are rolling from inside to outside, your knees follow, your thighs follow, your hips follow. Good. Nice. I almost said warming up the hips, but I don't think we need to warm up anything at this point today with all this heat. Good. Now you're going to walk your feet back to being hip distance apart, ankles underneath the knees. Bring the hands to your heart. And we're going to do some gentle forward folding. So you're going to inhale the arms down, out, and up. Root into your feet. Feel that core. Lift, lift, lift. Exhale, hinge at the hips. And do a nice gentle forward fold. Bring the chin into the collarbones and stay here for one breath. Okay. Inhale, root into the feet and begin to straighten the spine, and the arms come out and up. Come all the way back up. Exhale the hands to the heart. Let's do that again. Inhale the arms down, out, and up. Exhale, flow forward as far as you feel comfortable. If it's okay to round the spine, go ahead and bring the chin into the collarbones and take a breath here. Inhale, root into the feet. The arms come out and up. You feel that spine straighten. And exhale the hands together into your heart. Now we're going to break this up. We're going to break this up to a half forward fold and then a complete forward fold. Okay, so the half forward fold, we're only going about halfway to the thighs, but the spine stays nice and straight. This is the point before the spine actually begins to round. Okay, so we want to find this nice long spine, and we're going to stop there and take a breath. Okay, so bring your hands to your heart. You're going to inhale your arms down, out, and up. Lift, lift, lift. And as you exhale, flow about halfway to the thighs forward. Arms come out to the side and stay here. You feel your core turn on. Keep breathing. On your next exhale, go all the way down and go into the forward fold and take a full breath here. Now we're going to stop halfway up. On an inhale, root into the feet, arms come out and up. You straighten the spine, stop halfway up. Take a full breath. Next inhale, root into the feet, arms come all the way up, and bring the hands together. Exhale, hands to the heart. So we're going to do this 2 more times, taking a breath at that halfway point. I just want you to feel what that halfway point feels like when we come to standing later. So inhale the arms down, out, and up. Exhale, flow about halfway to the thighs. Spine stays long. Take a breath here. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, flow all the way down and take a complete breath, or 2 or 3, whatever feels good here. When you feel ready, root into the feet and inhale, bringing the spine about halfway up again, pausing with this nice long spine. So arms out to the side. Taking that full breath, taking another inhale to help you finish coming all the way up, and exhale the hands to the heart. Rest in the breath. Now check in with the body, see if it's wise for you to do this one more time, or do the deeper practice and stay right where you are and be with the body as it starts telling you what it needs. So if you want to go one more time, inhale the arms down, out, and up. Exhale, flow forward to that halfway mark. Keep breathing. Take one more inhale and flow forward all the way on the exhale. Take a full breath or two here. When you feel ready, on the inhale, root into the feet, arms come out, stopping halfway. Keep breathing. And on the next inhale, continue your journey all the way up and exhale the hands to the heart. Pause right here. Stay with the system. Notice how that impacted your body. See if that was wise for your low back. Good. So let's come to standing. So you're going to bring your ankles slightly towards the body, a little bit behind the knees, hands on top of the knees. Take a nice inhale. We're going to do that half forward fold to get up. Okay. So on the exhale, you do that half forward fold, push into the thighs, push into the feet, and rise all the way up. Nice, nice, nice. Pause right here. Woo. It's amazing how just a little bit of movement can really pick up that inner heat. All right. We're going to practice a half forward fold from standing. So I'm going to have you stand behind your chair, the back of the chair in front of you. Okay. I'm going to turn my chair so you can see me from the side. So you're going to get just close enough to your chair. Your feet are going to be hip distance apart. We're coming into mountain pose. Bring the hands to your heart. Now the chair is there to keep us from going too far and to support us when we go to that half forward fold. And when we do a half forward fold, you want to soften your knees. So let's practice doing that right now, just softening the knees, okay? Because when we soften the knees, we release all the tension in the hamstrings that is playing tug of war with your pelvic bowl. And we want to be able to fold forward because these are always playing the tug of war with your pelvic bowl. Okay, so if you soften those knees, it eases up on the hamstrings. So let's inhale the arms out and up. We're not going to do the full halfway. You're just going to exhale, soften the knees, tip your pelvic bowl forward, and stop. Take another inhale. Exhale, go a little bit further and place your hands on the back of the chair. Your spine is nice and straight here. Keep breathing. On an inhale, you're going to bend the knees a little bit more as if you're sitting into a chair, and you're going to lift your head and chest. Your arms are going to come out to the side. You're going to root into the floor, come back up, and exhale the hands to the heart. So we're actually combining the same movement you just did to rise out of your chair, which was chair pose, right? We're combining those two movements, but we're keeping that spine really straight. Good, so let's do that again. You're going to inhale your arms down, out, and up. Exhale, soften the knees, tip the pelvic bowl forward just a little bit and pause. Feel that low core working to keep your spine straight. Don't hold your breath. Take another inhale here. Exhale, go towards the half forward fold, hands to the chair. Soften those knees. You're lifting your tailbone here. Good. Next inhale, sit into an imaginary seat, bending the knees, shifting the hips back, raise your heart and your gaze. And then inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. One more time if it feels reasonable in the body. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, soften the knees, hinge forward, stop, halfway to halfway, quarter way. Breathe. Take another inhale here. Exhale, you can go ahead and do that half forward fold. On your next inhale, you're going to kind of sink into a gentle chair pose. Lift your head, lift your heart. Arms come out and up. Use the power of your legs to come up. And exhale the hands to the heart. Now, I know that's a lot of work in the spine, but we're actually working on the thighs too to support the hips. So you have that chair in front of you. Let's take a wide-legged stance. So move the feet further out from midline as long as you feel comfortable and supported, okay? And we're gonna swing your heels inward. Okay, let me back up a little bit so the camera can see. Swing your heels inward and the feet are rotated kind of outward. That means the thighs are rotated outward too. Yeah, so it's not just your feet, it's the thighs. Okay, I want that outward rotation we were doing when we were sitting down. So it's not a big rotation. Hold on to your chair and bend the knees, keeping the spine straight. You don't have to go very far. This is a gentle yogi squat. Just go where you feel comfortable. What I want you to focus on in this gentle squat is the outer edge of your feet. Focus on the pinky toe side of your feet, as if you're starting to lift the inner arch of your foot, but your thighs doing the work. Do you feel that? Okay, you're rotating those thighs outward. Your base of your big toes firm on the floor. Go ahead and root into the feet and straighten the knees. Now, it doesn't matter how far down you go, okay? I just want you to sense outer rotation in the hips. So that means when we sink into the squat, that knee is going to track towards the center of your foot. It doesn't have to get there, okay? It's just going to track towards that space. So let's do that. We're going to add arms because it's fun. So you're going to inhale this left arm out and up. And as you exhale, bring it down the center of the body as you sink into a gentle yogi squat. Then change hands. Inhale the right arm out and up. Exhale, let it come down your center and sink into your yogi squat. This is not ballet. So inhale out and up. Exhale, come on down. This is a nice goddess pose. And you just kind of flow with your breath, reaching up and sinking down. You don't have to bend those knees very much, just a little bit. Keeping that spine nice and tall. Good. Nice. Next time you come into the yogi squat, we're going to gently hang out there for a moment. It's not your deepest yogi squat. You just want to feel the outer rotation of your thighs. So it's as if the outside of your thighs are moving behind you. Okay, so here's what I want you to look for. And you can come in and out of this as much as you'd like. What I'd like you to look for is if you're over tucking your tailbone and rounding your spine. And you might not even know you're doing it. So you come on up, lift the tailbone and sink back in. So tip your pelvic bowl forward a little bit. Root into the feet one more time. Go ahead and come back up. And watch what happens. Go ahead and bring those feet back towards each other and your thighs are so happy. They're like, wow, right? Your thighs are like, wow, we were apart for a while, and we're so happy to be back together. Good. Okay, so we've been working on those thighs, right? This inner rotation, this outer rotation, outer, inner. Now we want to work on our glutes because this is the other part of the hip joint, the back of your hips, your glutes. We want to strengthen them. That means you're bringing the leg behind you. So you're going to keep that chair in front of you, but I want to make sure you have enough room to lift the leg behind you. I think you do need it. I think you have plenty of room. If not, you can always scoot forward a little bit. I'm going to turn my chair. Watch what I'm doing first. Okay, watch what I'm doing first. We've done this together before. We're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. So if I slide my left leg back onto my toes, turning on my glutes right there, and then lifting the opposite arm. I can add a little back bend by lifting my heart a little bit, but don't overdo it in your low back, okay? And that's going to be your inhale. And then as you exhale, come on back and switch sides. Inhale, slide those right toes back, lift the opposite arm. And exhale, come back. Now you're going to feel this in your low back. Don't slide that foot back so far that you feel a lot of scrunching. I like that technical word in the back, in your back body. But you do want to feel those glutes turn on a little bit, sliding that leg back. You can even give them an additional squeeze after, right at the end of that inhale. Additional squeeze of the glutes and then coming back. Good. Nice. Nicely done. So this is all of our balance and our coordination. And we really want to coordinate the breath with our movement. Actually, you want to coordinate the movement with our breath. The breath needs to come first. And you just get a nice rhythm going. So the more you practice, maybe the easier it will be if you're not doing it too intensely right away. Good. Nicely done. So the next time that left leg slides back and the right arm forward, you're going to hold. So those toes are on the ground, and you're just going to gently hold here. So most of the weight is in the forward foot, in your right foot. You can always drop this arm that's raised if it's starting to be a problem for the shoulder. Keep breathing. And reach into the back toes. Don't hold your breath. Are you breathing? Go ahead and slowly come back and pause, both feet on the floor. Feel all that work you've just done. Good. I know we want to shake it out. We'll get to that. Let's do it on the other side. Slide the right toes back. Bring the left arm forward and up. Get those toes on the floor to help with the balance. Most of the weight is in the forward foot. Keep breathing. Kind of reach into those back toes. Just reach back there. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly come down. Pause. Let your system settle. Let your system settle. I'm going to turn and face you now. We can shake it out now. Shake out the legs. Shake out the hands. This is really good to do. Get that tension out. And then today in my classes, we decided to really be like a horse when we shake out and do horse lips. It's okay. You could do it. Nobody can hear you. Okay. This helps release tension in the face too. Yeah, this is really good. I dare you to do this in the grocery store. And you just say, well, my yoga teacher said, I got to release all this tension. Right? All right, so we're going to stay right in front of this chair here. We're going to do warrior 3 pose. Okay, so you already practiced it. You already did it technically. I just want to show you what it's going to look like with the chair. The chair is here for you. And at any time, if you prefer to move to a wall, you can. The wall will be in front of you. For those of you at home, a table, a wall, or a back of the chair would work just fine. And you're going to step away from the chair just a little bit. And this is what it's going to look like. So watch first, and then I'll take you through it. Remember all those half forward folds I had you do? This is where they come into play. So you're going to go ahead and slide your toes back and start to hinge forward so that the hands can reach the chair. Right here, this is warrior 3. This is the pose. But there's a line from my heel all the way up through my spine. So if I feel like the chair is too far away, I can come closer and maybe I don't have to go as far. Okay? And then from there, we'll do some tipping. Okay? All right, so you're going to come next to the chair, kind of like where you were in the beginning. Excuse me, what is in the air? Can you feel that? Something's choking us all in here. We're sorry at home, you guys. There must be some smoke and exhaust, and we're very sorry. All right, you can start out as close as you want to the chair so that it's easily Your hands can come to it, or you can take a step back and then renegotiate. Always give yourself permission to renegotiate your stance in a yoga class, okay? So you're not married to this spot. And then you're going to slide the left toes back. And as you slide the left toes back, you're going to hinge in the hips just enough so that the fingertips or the hands can come to the back of your chair. So you might need to renegotiate your stance to do that. Here's the beginning of that half forward fold we were practicing, right? This is about the quarter fold so far. So we want to feel that spine get nice and long, and you're tipping your pelvic bowl. The spine is going along for the ride, and the leg can too. So take a nice inhale here, maybe soften the standing knee a little bit. And as you exhale, lead with the heart coming forward towards a half forward fold, maybe lifting the back toes a little bit. And then come back down and then move back in. So you're inhaling, coming down, exhaling, moving in. Doesn't matter how high you lift those toes off the floor. You could keep the toes on the floor. You don't have to go to a complete half forward fold. Okay? You can feel where all the work is happening. Good. Next time you come into a balance that works for you, you're going to stay. So maybe it's best for those toes to be on the floor. Or maybe it feels comfortable to lift the toes off the floor. The chair is here for you. Maybe you feel a Charlie horse coming on. I do. Take a nice inhale here. Exhale. Slowly come back to standing. Oh, feel that work you just did. Yeah, shake it out a little bit. You just got to do it, right? Yeah. Huh. All right, let's do the other side. So you're going to slide the right toes back. Do a little hinge in the hips. That means your pelvic bowl is tipping forward. You might need to soften that knee because of the hamstrings. And the hands are going to be on the back of the chair. But your spine is staying nice and straight. It's staying in line with the toes on the floor. You're going to take a nice inhale. And then as you exhale, tip forward. Maybe lift those toes off the ground a little bit. And I didn't mention this on the other side. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, move back in. Point your toes if you lift your toes up. There's a good reason why. Usually when you see a picture of the warrior three pose, they have their foot flexed and everything. But when you point your toes, your thigh is rotated in the right direction. It's inwardly rotated of that back leg, and it keeps you from sliding open, right? So point through those toes if you lift them up. And then when you find a spot that might be the best way to have the balance, it might not be the deepest place you went to, but the spine feels nice and straight and supported, and you can lift the toes up, or the toes can be just barely on the ground. Whatever feels right for your body, you're going to stay here and breathe. Always, always let things go way before I tell you to when it's time. Go ahead and come back to mountain pose. Ooh, move those knees a little bit. Warrior three balance. It's one of the harder balance poses. Great job, everybody. All right, so I'm going to have my chair face you guys so I can give you the right directions. You're going to pick up your chair, and you're going to rotate to the left so the seat faces the left side. And then you're going to turn around and face the front of the room to me so that your left hip is next to the side of your chair. Great. I'm going to go at an angle here. Place your right hand on your hip, your left hand on your chair. Feet start out hip distance apart. And you're going to take this right foot and you're going to step it straight back and then drop the heel to the midline. So that foot is not stepping behind the front foot. It is stepping straight back in its own lane. And then you drop the heel to the ground and then you bend that front knee just a little bit. We don't want that knee shooting past the ankle because the knee needs to feel supported. So if you feel that happening, scooch those front toes forward and then bend your front knee. We want that back heel firm on the floor. Okay, so the hips are facing forward, your shoulders are facing forward. Good. So let's let that right arm drift down, and we're going to move with the breath. So as you inhale, that front knee is bent and that arm is going to come forward just a little bit. And as you exhale, drift that arm back and straighten that front knee. So this is rowing the boat, a bit of a qigong movement. Inhale, coming forward, exhale, flowing back. So your feet are rooted into the ground. That back heel is not leaving. So you might not go very far forward. But your breath is directing your movement. Nice, slow flowing movements are really good for the nervous system, to regulate the nervous system. Also can help us be cooled down without holding a pose that's really strong. Letting the air flow around our body. Good. So the next time that knee bends and that arm drifts forward, let it continue to move forward and up. So you're holding onto your chair here. At any time, you can let this arm come down to your hip if it feels more comfortable on that right side. This is the Psoas stretch we're going to do. So a little side stretching. You're going to inhale, lift the shoulder, the right shoulder, lift those fingertips to the sky, lengthen that side of your body. Exhale, flow to the side, just gently a little bit towards the chair. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, flow to the side. Root into that back foot. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, float to the side. And then one more time, inhale, come back up. Exhale, float to the side. It's not your deepest side pose, but we want to feel a nice stretch. So you're rooting and reaching into that back leg and raising that shoulder and the fingertips to the sky and then moving over. And then we're going to do one last little adjustment. Keep breathing here. I want you to feel your low front ribs. And on your next exhale, drop them into your body a little bit. This way we get deeper into the back body, into that psoas muscle. Okay, that's what we're working on this side. Good, inhale, come back up. Exhale, flow that arm down, thank goodness. And go ahead and step forward. Hold, pause here. Be with the outcome of that work you've just done. Notice how things move, sensations shift and change. The more we tune into those subtle fluctuations of energy and sensation in the body, the wiser we begin to move, the safer we begin to move. Right. We're going to do this on the other side. So you're going to pick up your chair, you're going to face your chair, the back of your chair, you're going to pick it up, and you're going to turn it all the way around to face the other side of the room. And then rotate your body so you're facing forward. Good. I'm just going to come to the side a little bit. Feet back to hip distance apart, hand on the hip on the left side, right hand holding onto your chair, stepping straight back with the left foot. And then drop the heel just slightly towards the midline and then bend that front knee. You don't want too big of a stride. You want to feel that heel firm into the foot. Let this left arm drift down, and you're going to inhale forward as that knee just has a little bend to it, and exhale, straighten the knee as the arm comes back, and then inhale forward and exhale back. So this is a very gentle movement, but you add the energy that you want to it. You're going to feel that back foot being rooted into the ground. Right. Bending as you're coming forward and up. Straightening that knee as you're coming back. Next time you come forward, bending the knee, letting the arm come all the way up. Right. Root into that back heel. Energize that back leg. And then we'll do our gentle side stretch. So when you inhale, you're lifting the shoulder as if you're scooping the shoulder, and you're reaching up with the fingertips, and you're exhaling gently to the side towards the chair. And then you're inhaling back to center and exhaling towards the chair. Keep breathing as you're moving. The breath is the most important thing here. Good. Nice. Good. And then you're going to go ahead and let that arm go all the way to the side, but don't go too deeply into your side stretch. Root into that back foot. Feel that nice long space here. So that hip is moving away from your rib cage. The rib cage is moving away from the hip. Now, think about those front low ribs. On an exhale, slightly draw them in. And breathe. Good. Inhale, bring that arm back up. Exhale, flow that arm down. Push off, step forward. Pause in your mountain pose. And be with the outcome. Never rushing past the consequences of your actions on your body. So go to the greatest sensation right now that you feel in your body. And breathe into that sensation. Maybe you notice another sensation. Breathe into that too. Kind of soften our awareness around intense sensations. Right. So go ahead and turn your chair back to the beginning with the seat face forward, and then stand behind your chair. And then we're going to do a gentle forward fold, draping over the back of the chair if that's reasonable. Feet hip distance apart, hands to the hip thigh joint, so the actual hip joint rather than the top of the hip ball. Hip thigh joint, so that's where the hip crease is. You're going to soften those knees. I'll turn to this side so you can see. You're going to soften those knees. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, tip that pelvic bowl forward, lift your tailbone, and come towards a half forward fold. Or maybe you would want to go deeper. Keep bending those knees as much as you need to. But the chair's here for you. So you go as far as you feel comfortable. You can even bring the hands to the back of the chair if that's reasonable with the chair you're using. You can go deeper if you wish, as long as it's okay for your system. Good. Now we're going to put a deeper bend in the knees. We're going to inhale, hold onto your chair the whole time, and slowly walk your way back up, straightening the spine as you go. And walk your way back up, pause. Now we're going to do that in a wide leg forward fold. So take the feet back apart and swing the heels maybe slightly in. You can play with this foot position when we do this forward fold. If it feels better to have the toes facing forward, you can have the toes facing forward, or for me and in my ankles and in my knees, I like my heels slightly inward. So you're gonna find the right foot position for you, okay? So hold on to the back of your chair, take a nice inhale, nice tall spine, lifting the spine out of that pelvic bowl. As you exhale, soften the knees, tip your pelvic bowl forward. So you're lifting your tailbone and you're coming towards that half forward fold. And then keep breathing. If you want to go further, you can. Soften your knees. Keep putting a bend in your knees if that feels good for the back of the legs and your spine. Your spine is always playing tug of war with the pelvic bowl and your hamstrings. Good. Wide leg forward fold, being supported by the chair. Good. Bend the knees a little bit more, and on the inhale, kind of walk yourself up the chair very slowly, slowly coming back up. And then bring the feet back together and pause and breathe and notice. Good. All right, let's come to walking so that we're standing in front of our seats, getting ready to Be seated once again, but stand in front of your seat and do the drama of introducing yourself on both sides, right? So there's my chair, and there's my chair. I know where it is. We're going to use a half forward fold to find our seat. So we sit down like yogis, right? So hands on the thighs, put a little bounce in your knees. Take a nice inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, tip that pelvic bowl forward. Go to a half forward fold and ease your way down into your chair. And I'll go shut our door real quick. It's getting a little loud out there. Okay. Sorry, you guys, they're having a little meeting on the stoop out there. Okay. All right. So scoot forward in your chair. Get those ankles right underneath your knees. And then we'll add a little twist here. You're going to bring your feet together. Bring the thighs towards each other. Feel that inner rotation. And we're going to do a gentle twist. So you can take the left ankle and cross it over the right, keeping the thighs together. So you to feel that inner rotation. Or if it's reasonable, the left thigh can come on top of the right. If it's okay with whatever we've got going on in our hips, right? And then you're going to take that left hand and find your chair. Hold on to the chair behind you. Right hand on the left thigh. In and out 3 times. We're going to hold the twist on the 3rd time. So the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about lifting our rib cage up like a lampshade. So as you inhale, you feel that rib cage lifting. Exhale, rotate from your center, from your solar plexus to the left. Just a gentle rotation. Inhale, lifting up that rib cage and coming out of your rotation. So facing forward, and then inhale, lifting up and rotating in. Exhale, lifting up and rotating back out. Okay, now we're going to hold. So inhale, lift up, rotate in, and find your breath. So find a reasonable twist. Spine nice and tall. Soften your jaw, soften your eyes. Maybe the head rotates a little bit more than the rest of the spine. Keep breathing. And regardless of the position of your feet and your thighs, keep the thighs rotating towards each other or squeezing together, like you're holding something between your thighs or between your knees. Squeeze the thighs together. Keep breathing. So we never put the challenge so deeply into the body that the breath is no longer accessible. Good. Inhale, lift that rib cage, and exhale, slowly rotate out. Uncross, feet back next to each other, thighs back next to each other, and pause and breathe. Now we'll do this on the other side. You can keep the feet next to each other or cross the right ankle over the left, but you have to keep those thighs rotated in as much as it feels comfortable, or bring that top thigh, this is your right thigh, over your left thigh. But we still want to feel that engagement, that squeezing in a little bit, okay? And take that right hand on your chair behind you. Left hand on the right thigh. Inhale, feel the whole bell of that rib cage, that lampshade lifting up, and exhale, move from your center and rotate to the right. Inhale, lift back up and come out of this. Take an exhale. Sometimes I forget to tell you to exhale. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, rotate back in. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, rotate back out. One more time, we'll hold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. Keep breathing. So there's still that lifting sensation of the front of the ribs, the back of the rib cage, moving away from the pelvic bowl. And then there's the sensation of the thighs being squeezed in towards each other. And then the sensation of a gentle twist. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. Inhale, lift those ribs up. Exhale, unwind. Uncross. Feet coming back to be about hip distance apart. Hands on top of the thighs. Roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down, letting the elbows hang underneath the shoulders. Draw the back of the head back. Lift the gaze slightly and pause here. Find your breath. Maybe there's an invitation to deepen the breath slightly, but you're not forcing it. The breath is gentle. You feel your feet on the floor. You feel your seat on your chair. Noticing the temperature of the room, the light, the sounds. Being fully here. One of my favorite meditation teachers, Sylvia Boorstein, has a great quote. She says to herself, "May I meet this moment fully. May I meet it as a friend." Sometimes we're not so friendly to ourselves. May I meet this moment fully. May I meet it as a friend. You're going to inhale your arms out and up. Gather any benefit, any wisdom from your practice. And as you exhale, bring the hands together. Bring that benefit and that wisdom down into your heart. Thank yourself for making it to your practice today. And I thank you for being here. Stay cool and hydrated. Namaste. Well done, yogis. Thank you. Nice, good job.